So we'll start with the Ganesh Sarnam. Nadine, hopefully you all got the seats, or you don't need them.
No, we improvise. We follow you.
Okay, well, I'll try my best. Okay. So I think if you can use the instruments with me, and then if we stop, and then we can listen them. We'll try anyway. Let's see how it goes. Okay.
All right.
Ganesha Saranam Saranam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
Ganesha Saranam Saranam Ganesha Ganesha Saranam Saranam Ganesha Mahesha Saranam Saranam Mahesha Mahesha Saranam Mahesha Mahesha Saranam Saranam Mahesha
Mahesha Sharanam Sharanam Mahesha.
Vignesha Saranam Saranam Vignesha
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Vignesha Saranam Saranam Vignesha
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Vignesha Saranam Saranam Vignesha
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Viresa Saranam Saranam Viresa
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Viresa Saranam Saranam Viresa
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Viresa Saranam Saranam Viresa
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Sayesa Saranam Saranam Sayesa
Sayesha Sharanam Sharanam Sayesha.
Sayesa Saranam Saranam Sayesa
Sayesha Sharanam Sharanam Sayesha.
Yogesa Saranam Saranam Yogesa
Yogesha Sharanam Sharanam Yogesha.
Yogesa Saranam Saranam Yogesa
Yogesha Sharanam Sharanam Yogesha.
Yogesa Saranam Saranam Yogesa
Yogesha Sharanam Sharanam Yogesha.
Ganesha Saranam Saranam Ganesha
Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
Mahesa Saranam Saranam Mahesa
Mahesha Sharanam Sharanam Mahesha.
Vignesha Saranam Saranam Vignesha
Vignesha Sharanam Sharanam Vignesha.
Viresa Saranam Saranam Viresa
Viresha Sharanam Sharanam Viresha.
Sayesa Saranam Saranam Sayesa
Sayesha Sharanam Sharanam Sayesha.
Yogesa Saranam Saranam Yogesa
Yogesha Sharanam Sharanam Yogesha.
Ganesha Saranam Saranam Ganesha Om. So that's our bhajan for Ganesh. Nadine, let's try this time. You mute yourself and then see how it goes. You
Okay.
might actually bet.
Well,
Yeah,
I
because
was thinking, why don't we do it like you ask them or something like that, to give them a chance to do it as well, like 3.
Yeah, but then they can do with you guys, so it's perfect. Yeah. So mute yourself and let's try the next one, the Hari Bol. Okay. I think that way, like Dr. Nanda always did like that. It seems to work
Okay.
a bit better.
We're gonna mute ourselves. I'm just saying, Michael here, it's his favorite Haribo song.
Okay.
He loves it. So
Good.
Dying.
Om Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol.
Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Kesava Madhava Govinda bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Hari Hari bol. Kesava bol. Madhava bol. Govinda bol. Govinda bol. Madhava bol. Kesava bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari Hari bol. Om. Lovely. I think it works better, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not mixing, yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Do you want to lead one?
Which one?
Whichever you like, really. We quite new, honestly, it's only our third day, so we're quite new.
Okay.
Just be mindful to that.
Don't go too crazy, no?
Yeah, if you want, yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's do Vasudevaya. Okay, then I don't have to do my.
No, you have to.
You're gonna do your voice off then? Okay.
Sure.
You have to help me now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya. Oh, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Vasudevaya.
It was a bit definitely too far for my little growing group. I'll tell you, it was a bit too far. Like we haven't really gone that far yet. Let me do something easy, okay? So we'll do the Sambo Purare
Okay.
and see if I can get a bit of beat in it. So you can unmute yourself if you like, or mute. Yeah. Om Samba Purare Sankara Purare Samba Purare Sankara Purare Samba Purare Sankara Purare Tuladhar Panidhar Sankara Purare Tuladhar Panidhar Sankara Purare Shambho Mahadeva Gauri Manohar Shambho Mahadeva Gauri Manohar Shambho Mahadeva Gauri Manohar Ganga Jatadhar Chandra Kaladhar Ganga Jatadhar Chandra Kaladhar Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Har 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 Haraya Namah Har 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 Haraya Namah Samba Purare Sankara Purare Samba Purare Sankara Purare Tuladhar Panidhar Sankara Purare Shambho Mahadeva Gauri Manohar Ganga Jatadhar Chandra Kaladhar Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Har 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 Haraya Namah Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Har 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 Haraya Namah Shiva 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 Shivaya Nama Om.
Shiva 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 Nama.
Hara 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 Haraya Nama Om.
Hare 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 Hare.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Nama Om.
Shiva 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 Nama.
Hara 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 Haraya Nama Om.
Hare 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 Nama.
Sambho Purare Sankara Purare. Sambho Purare Sankara Purare. Suladhara Panidhara Sankara Purare.
Suladhara Panidhara Sankara Purare.
Sambho Mahadeva Gauri Manohar. Ganga Jatadhara Chandra Kaladhara. Ganga Jatadhara. Shiva 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 Shivaya Nama Om.
Shiva 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 Nama.
Hara 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 Haraya Nama Om.
Hare 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 Nama.
Shiva 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 Shivaya Nama Om.
Shiva 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 Nama.
Hara 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 Haraya Nama Om.
Hare 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 Nama.
Shivaya Nama Om.
Shiva Nama.
Haraya Nama Om. Haraya Nama Om.
Haraya Nama.
Shivaya Nama Om. Haraya Nama Om. Haraya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Haraya Nama Om. Oh, I can definitely hear all the vibration from the other side of the planet. You're doing well, all doing really well. I can hear the joy from the. See, I like Dr. Ananda calls it Zoom Boom. So there you go. You all can say. Which one shall we do next? Any preference, Michael, or the team, or do you guys? Or you had enough? You need to unmute Nadine.
Yeah. We like it all. Whatever you like.
Whatever. Okay, let's try to do number 8, Hare Shiv Shankar.
Yeah, that's one.
And just trying to do all the easy ones to get them all into the beat of the bhajans, and then the rest will follow. I think the main thing really from the both side of the planet, please guys just enjoy them and try not to think too much and complicate things too much. And I guess once you start to enjoy these beautiful sounds and vibrations, these bhajans are really the pure bhakti yoga practices, one of the most beautiful and most advanced path of yoga we can take. And in the Sanatana yoga tradition we follow, as we are based on the Tantra, the energy concept where we work on the chakras and this energetic fields and stuff. The sound is one of the simplest practice and one of the most intense practice you can take to actually activate all these beautiful pranic and the mind body that we all carry. And it really helps to release the seeds. And to me, the most beautiful aspect of the bhajans, it really helps us to break through our own fears, the barriers, blockages that we carry about our voice. Mm-hmm. So just to remind you all, the bhajans are not really about how beautiful we sing. It's about how beautiful your heart can sing. So when these are the beautiful prayers, the sounds, vibrations we're invoking. So let go of the judgment of the voice and the sound. Just put your heart in it. And honestly, rest of the bhajans, because these bhajans are actually not written from here, okay? Just to remind you again, these bhajans we're singing, they're not being written by intellectual brain. These are written by people who just had their heart melted into divine concepts. And if you sing them, you will also start to feel it. And you will see as the day by day we progress into it. And towards the end, I can tell you guys, all you will be doing every day around just singing and dancing, and I'm just enjoying, loving watching. And you can ask Natalie, the group just gone a couple of days ago. It's just all day, everyone just like That's all we need. So this is the humming. So let's do number 8, Hare Shiv Shankar. And obviously the bhajan is for Lord Shiva, that sort of really my love, the one I follow from my heart. I guess for me, the yoga and Lord Shiva, they cannot be separated because he's really the founder or the father of yoga, where the yogic teachings really begin. Hare Shiva Shankara Sasanka Sekara. Hare Shiva Shankara Sasanka Sekara. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. Hare Shiva Shankara Sasanka Sekara. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. 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 Dimi Dimi Takanatana Kelo. Hare Shiva Shankara Sasanka Sekara. Hare Shiva Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. 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 Hare Shiva Shankara Sasanka Sekara. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Hare Bam 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 Bolo. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Bhava Bhayankara Giriraja Shankara. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. Dimi 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 Takanatana Kelo. Natana Kelo. Hare Bam Bolo. Hare Bam Bolo. Natana Kelo. Natana Kelo. Hare Bam Bolo. Hare Bam Bolo. Natana Kelo. Natana Kelo. Hare Bam Bolo. Hare Bam Bolo. Natana Kelo. Natana Kelo. Hare Bam Bolo. Hare Bam Bolo. Natana Kelo. Natana Kelo. Hare Bam Bolo. Hare Bam Bolo. It's actually such a beautiful bhajan that we are trying to invoke this Shiva, the pure conscious energy, the cosmic energy. And something I really love about some of these bhakti yoga concept where we are invoking or trying to tune ourselves with the divine Lord Shiva, and we're asking him to come and play with us and sing his beautiful songs and dance. Sometimes I do wonder, like, such a beautiful way to tell somebody, I love you, my God, and come and dance for me. It's like, what else can you expect from the divine? And in so many stories, Lord Shiva actually, he came down and he performed his tandava, his beautiful dance. So I'm sure if we keep singing the bhajan, one day or one night, Lord Shiva will manifest in your dreams and you will see the dance. It's quite amazing, quite scary. So I would say try not to see it too quick, too soon before you're ready. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, it's something I tell everyone, when you're thinking of the divine, when you're invoking or intuning yourself to the divine, the higher concept, higher wisdom, try to find that pure love in a simplest possible way. So when you're thinking of like, oh, I just want to be in the bliss, Sat Chit Ananda. But honestly, we have made it so complicated that we can never experience it. But actually, the bliss is so simple. And in this bhajan, actually, typical Portuguese. So we are singing, Hare bam, 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 bolo. So you're saying like, let my heart dance and sing the song for the Hare, for Lord Shiva. And in Portuguese, the bolo, 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 bolo is a cake. So I can sing it in the soaps and ask for the cakes every day. So it's quite nice to think, the bolo. So let your heart to be melt into that cake of the Shiva, cake of the cosmic consciousness, and enjoy it. Let's do one more, and then I will go into a little bit of satsang on yoga. Shall we do something gentle, something with a bit more beat? Something gentle or something with a bit more beat, guys, from the other side of the Nadine? Shall we do Dimita Dimi? I think you guys seems to be, I think your heart is opening quicker with the beat. It's easy, I definitely say. Let's do Dimita Dimi, yeah?
Okay.
So, I haven't got numbers on mine. That's the one, yeah. Yeah.
11.
Dimita Dimita Dim, 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 Dimita Dimita Dim. Nache bole na, nache bole na, nache bole na. Dimita dimita dim, dimita dimita dim, nache bole na. Dimita dimita dim, dimita dimita dim, nache bole na. Dimita dimita dim, dimita dimita dim, nache bole na. Dimita dimita dim, dimita dimita dim, nache bole na. Nache bole na, bole na, nache bole na, bole na. Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om. Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om. Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om. Gamaru bole Har 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 Om. Har Har Har. Gamaru bole Har 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 Om. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Nache bole na. dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim bholenath.
Naate bholenath. Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Sanga bole Shiva 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 Om. Sanga bole Shiva 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 Om. Damaru bole Har 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 Om.
Bole Hare 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 Om.
Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram.
Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Sanga bole Shiva 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 Om.
Bole Shiva 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 Om.
Damaru bole Har 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 Om.
Bole Hare 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 Om.
Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram.
Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram.
Naate bholenath.
Naate bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath.
Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath. Bole Shiva 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 Om.
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 Damaru bole Har 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 Om. Damaru bole Har 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 Om. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Veena bole Sitaram Sitaram. Naate bholenath. Naate bholenath. Naate bholenath. Dimita dimita dim dimita dimita dim naate bholenath. Om. Lovely.
It's that's what I'm doing. It's warming up.
I'm going to do a little bit of satsanga then. So you all guys, welcome to join in. Just to talking, we are very at the beginning, so we're going to talk a little bit about yoga and where yoga comes from, and sort of trying to create a foundation really for my new yoga love, I call it. I think instead of calling students, I start to call all of you now my new yoga love. Seems to be much nicer. Student sounds a bit more like, I don't know, like Swamiji always said that I don't create followers. And I like that word, I don't create students. It's much, much nicer. And I guess in a yogic terms, really, we don't really need to be students. We just need to be practitioners. We need to be the sadhakas and keep doing what we do and be mindful, be aware. So yeah, creating a little bit of foundation of really where yoga comes from. And I guess to me, begin with, when we think or when we try to understand yoga from the modern perspective, it's very painful and very sad that not really much to talk about, because the minute we say, oh, I'm going to learn yoga or I'm going to practice yoga, most people try to visualize someone is going to put the head down into the ground and legs lifted up, twisted into something big, or I do not doing bending back and putting your head through your own legs and looking through all sorts of weird stuff, which is fine. You know, I do love them too myself. I'm happy to teach if anyone fancy going overstretching and over bendy. I don't mind that. But in a typical sort of yogic traditions, really, for me, the beginning or the roots of yoga is at some point, some people like you and me, now I'm talking about obviously not you and me, I'm talking about the rishis, which can be you and me too. You know, we all have been through 84 million lifetimes. So that if you add 100 years for each life of you have lived, you know, you can go 84 million 100 years back. So you might be Patanjali, who knows? You might be Lord Shiva, who knows? But that's okay. We all are eternally that divine. So I believe at some point these great rishis or people who were like you and me felt that there is too much suffering, too much physical, mental, emotional suffering that we all go through, suffering of our karma, suffering of our samskaras, suffering of our experiences, traumas, all this mental conditioning, that the fear, the blockage we live in. And they must have felt, I had enough of it and I'm going to do something about it. So in that way, actually, to me, the roots, the beginning of yoga was like a sincere human effort, a conscious human effort, when some people looked into finding a way out of all the suffering, all the problems, and thinking, how can I live in abundance? How can I live in that true joy, true happiness, the true bliss that is there for all of us? Because in concept of our Vedic, our Sankhya, in our yogic idea, we all are pure potential. So these rishis realize, well, if we all are pure potential, we need to find the practices, the tools, the ideas, the principles that helps us to remove all the layers that we have put on top of that pure potentiality. So if you think of deep within you all, there is a lamp, there is a beautiful candle, there is a beautiful flame of your spirit, your consciousness, and that flame, that spirit, the consciousness has been surrounded, covered by the layers and layers of your experiences, your conditioning, your traumas, your karma, samskaras. And yoga provides us all the tools we need and gives us all the things we need to peel the layers of these onions we carry on. And hopefully when you remove everything, there will be nothing left. And in that nothing moment, you experience the pure potentiality, that soul, the consciousness, or the flame of the Sat Chit Ananda, where if there is anything exists, it is pure love, pure abundance, pure joy. So in that way, yoga is really one of the most sincere effort, I would say, human being or humanity would have done at some point. Now, in that way, obviously, when we're talking about the yogic wisdom, the concepts of yoga, we look into Patanjali's Yoga Sutras or Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga philosophy, so many scriptures. Each of them says that the yogic wisdom does not really have the beginning or the end. It just exists. So think of the minute we are born, we also have that intelligence, we have the wisdom, we have the jnana on how to grow. So, if you can get a photo of yourself at the time you were born from the birth, and did anyone have to pull your legs and your arms around to stretch you into the human being you are now? So if you think, how effortlessly you grew into this beautiful soul, a beautiful body, beautiful human being, and you're still growing. Now, sometimes we are growing upward, other times, we are on a spiral. So both have their own beauty. If your body, your mind is so effortless. So that means the wisdom that you need to grow into something big is already there. And then the whole universe holds that wisdom. So in that way, the yogis say that this wisdom on how to live, how to grow, how to evolve does not even have beginning. It's there. It's there in the universe, and through the practices, through sadhana, we create the access, or we learn how to read it. We learn how to tap into it. So some of these great yogis, rishis, what they did, they tapped into this cosmic wisdom or the cosmic books of the universe, and they read it, and then they felt like, oh, these practices, these ideas are so beautiful, so pure, and they should be shared with other people. So I believe at that point, these rishis, these yogis, put them in practices together. Now, most of the yogic scriptures, I look at them, they all have actually 4 parts in it, each scripture. So the first part, you can call it in our modern language, is the part where we do the diagnosis. So all the scriptures, to me, whichever, you can look at Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, you can look at Shiv Samhita, you can look at Yoga Vasishtha. The first few chapters are dealt on what mental problems we suffer with. Obviously, to me, yoga pure, now I'm not talking about Hatha Yoga at the moment. We will talk about that at some point. When we talk about the holistic idea, the concept of yoga is really the science of our mind and science of our soul. To me, if you want to translate the word yoga in our modern words, I would say yoga is science of living. How to live our life. So Swamiji used really beautiful phrase. He said, the worldly people out there, they are living to learn. What can I learn next? What course can I do next? Where should I go next? What degree qualification I can do next? But when people start to take the path of yoga in their life, yogic lifestyle, when they start to live the yogic attitude, they change the whole perspective. So their perspective is trying to learn how to live. It's such a beautiful concept, such a beautiful idea to actually even plant the seed in our heart that now I'm going to try to learn everything I can on how to live. And that how to live will include how to eat, how to drink, how to sleep, how to do exercise, how to work, how to meet with people, how to have social time, how to live with the nature, what can I take, what I cannot take. And in that way, Patanjali's idea, Lord Krishna's idea, they said, well, because we trying to live a yogic life, which is the life of freedom. And life of freedom to me really means you do everything the way it should be done. So to me, freedom doesn't mean that, oh, I'm so free, Jan, they've told me I should be free. I'm not going to ever sleep again. Because I want to, that's what I want to do. I want to go against the nature. Well, that's not freedom. Gradually you're going to suffer. Or I'm never going to do exercise. I'm never going to work. I'm just going to be free and do what I want to do. No, the freedom we have is really living our life and doing what needs to be done. And when you live that way, deep down in your heart, you live in abundance. You live that total freedom. When you go to bed, you got nothing to think about. To me, when we don't do things that need to be done by us, when we go to bed, we start to muddle into our head and manipulate, and then try to justify, try to excuse, to make ourselves feel comfortable about the day. And it's a simple idea, but that's what we do. So after the diagnosis, to me, sort of really looking at the yoga, first tools Patanjali, Lord Krishna, and other scriptures give us is the principles of yamas and niyamas. So when you start to understand, like, okay, I'm going to try to live my yoga, what do I do first? So these yogis say, well, go and do whatever you like to do, but do it with the 5 principles of yamas and 5 virtues of niyamas. So the yogic or the Vedic idea, the Vedantic idea actually, until our last couple of 100 years ago, It never used to be control your desires. It's totally opposite to what we hear from people now about the sadhus, about the monks. In ancient time, it used to be you live your life in a true abundance, in true love. You never ever fight and control your desires. You learn how to worship them, how to fulfill them. And for that, then in yoga, we have been given these 10 beautiful practices. And I trust me, if you can tick your box on all 10 of them, do whatever you like to do. You will be fine. So these 10, so to begin with the 5 yamas, which are the restraints, says biologically we all are animals unless or until we are trained. And I can tell you, most people I see these days walking on 2 feet seems to be, sometimes the animals on 4 feet seem to be a bit more kinder than the ones on 2 feet. So until we really learn to become a human being, we're not much different to the animals. We have the abhinivesa, which is the survival instinct. We will do anything to survive. So if you're hungry, you will fight for your food. If nothing, you will eat barks. If nothing, you will eat leaves. And then that's where, if you think where the hunting and all this begins, because people maybe could not find anything else to eat. So our basic biological needs, we will do everything to fulfill them. So that's where the first principle comes in, the yamas, to step back every time you're fulfilling or trying to feed yourself, trying to live your life, stepping back and seeing, am I feeding myself? Am I fulfilling my desires, my basic needs in a nicest possible way? So we have the yamas. So the first one is ahimsa, which is the concept of non-violence, non-harm. Well, you want to eat food, you want to have a house, you want to have a car, you want to have abundance of even material life. If you can have it with non-violence, that you're not causing any harm to anybody. No one is stopping you, go for it. The concept of satya, the truth, the honesty, non-manipulation. To me, that is the pure concept of living. And then asteya, non-stealing. Not taking anything that does not belong to you, or even not taking anything for granted. Not stealing materials, not stealing somebody's energy, not stealing somebody's credit, not stealing somebody's time. And on top of all that, not stealing your own time. To me, that's the hardest one to practice. Asteya. Then we have brahmacharya, which in modern language, people translate it as sexual restraint, but in ancient time, they kind of, as I said, they used to really live their life in a true harmony with the nature. So I personally, in the ancient ashrams, the yogis, they all used to be married and they had the whole grasta ashram, the household life was very, very well worshipped or praised. So to me, I can't find hard to digest the way modern life people translate it. But obviously that practice has the time and space. So to me, the way I look at brahmacharya is tuning your life to the Brahma, which is the creative force of the nature. Acharya, the one who follows or lives in harmony with the creative force of nature. So if you think biologically, well, in the night your body likes to sleep. In the morning it likes to wake up. There is a time for you to do things. There is a time for you to earn money. There is time for you to pay bills. There is time to eat, time to drink, time to get rid of all the toxins from your body. And that is brahmacharya. Putting your life in an appropriate perspective and living that in harmony, in rhythm, tuned with the nature. To me, even eating local food, eating seasonal fruits and vegetables, using the local sources, local resources. To me, if you can, have a dip into the water that flows wherever you're living, that is brahmacharya too, because you are allowing your body to be exposed to the elements that are there. So living in harmony with the nature. And then we have aparigraha, the fifth one, non-greed, non-accumulation. Sometimes I think it's actually not worrying too much for tomorrow. So you're not accumulating too much. Because that's where the non-accumulation can really be practiced, non-greed. Because our greed is really the fear, isn't it? Like, I don't know if I would have food tomorrow or not. I don't know if I will have something tomorrow. So then we start to hide them. We start to accumulate them. And it causes stagnant energy. It causes fear in our life. So tell me which biological need that you cannot fulfill if you have 5 of them in perspective. So you're not doing any harm, not causing any pain to yourself or somebody. You are honest, you are truthful, you are sincere in it. You're not taking anything for granted. You're not stealing anything. You are tuned with the nature. To me, tuning with nature, also tuning with the group, people that you live with. And you are not holding on to anything. You're not possessive. You're not trying to control anyone. Either it's about relation, about food, about people, friendships. You're letting people be free and make their own choices. Taking what really comes to you. Now, that's the first step. So the first step is how to know how not to become animal. So now the next step we say, how do we grow the humanity in us, human consciousness in us? We come to the niyamas. So again, Patanjali loved number 5 because 5 is a transformative number of the practices. Socha, the purity. So again, now you might have non-violence, you might have all these places and things, but still also need to have the purity. Purity in your body, purity in your thoughts, your deed, your desires, purity in your surroundings, place, food, everything. We need to have some sort of purity. Otherwise, it's just going to bring mess. Then santosa, the contentment, gratification. And sometimes I also think it's a concept of consolidation, that what you have been given, you also live it, enjoy it. Not just running to one to other to other, and have no sense of where we are, what we are, and what we have. I've seen so many people, whatever they get, that's the only thing not important in their life. They're so desperate to have somebody, a friend, a relation, and then once they get them, straight out looking at somebody else. Either it's food, it's house, it's job, it's people in our life. So this sense of contentment, santosa, is actually living what we have been blessed with and enjoying it. It's also the sense of contentment in whatever you have done, you're not bothered too much about the fruit of it. Because the fruit is never in our control. You just do what you need to be done, and you're not caught into what I get from it. And Krishna says, remember, whatever you do, you are always going to get the fruit anyway. Because what you do never ever get wasted. So stop worrying, stop being caught into the fruit side of it. Because once you caught, even if you have been given blessed fruits of your karma, you're never going to enjoy it, because you're thinking, oh, that's not enough. I wish I would have got not this, but something else. So that's the contentment we talk about. Contentment also, I've known lots of people take it, translate it negatively. I'm so contented, I don't need to do anything. In the morning, everyone trying to do the karma yoga, and someone saying, yeah, I just told you, I'm so content. It's okay, I'm just content. I don't need to do anything. So the contentment is actually not in your action, it's in the fruit. Then with the santosa, with the contentment, we come to tapas. And to me, that is sincere, dedicated, disciplined practice. Is following a straight path. You know, like Maya did today, to get to us, well, you have to follow a straight path. You can't just randomly pick and choose, oh, I'm going to travel south for half an hour and then north for half an hour and then west, east, you can't get anywhere. And that is tapas, that you got your destination, you got your place, you got your practice, you sincerely follow that. And you also put your faith, you put your dedication, you put your virya, your energy in it. No, like, dragging yourself along out of your bed like a little creature, and like, I'm going to crawl up to my yoga class, and what's the point? Oh, Gyandev, come on, let me sleep. I've seen even people crawling up for eating food. Honestly, you can just feel like, oh God, why do I have to come and eat food? I can't just go to bed. And then the rest of the day hungry. Oh, no one gave me food to eat. And to me, that's sincere fire that you need to live your life, isn't it? You need that fire, otherwise nothing is going to happen. So the tapas is the sincerity, dedication in your practice, in your approach, in your life, to grow, to evolve. Then we have Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya has two meanings. I love both of them. So the one is introspection, you're reflecting inward. So you have done your best, you have taken your action, you have contentment, but still there is lots of mind game that playing around in our head. So you're reflecting into them. And to me, Swadhyaya enables you to actually look back into practicing the other 7 that we have discussed or talked about. It reminds you that, oh, I think I'm having a bit of negative thoughts. So that's the violence, isn't it? You hurting your own thoughts, you're hurting your own heart, you're hurting your own physical anatomical system, the body that you have been blessed with. So constantly reflecting to it. Swadhyaya also has the element of studying the scriptures. Also our satsangs we do, they fall under that category too. Because sometimes you listen and learn from yourself, other time you learn from other people and their experiences. It gives you a perspective, gives you another ideas, teachings, and various ways to think and look at yourself. Once you've done that, then the last thing you need to do is leave it all to the divine. Ishwar Pranidhana or Ishwar Prasadhanam. That reminding yourself you're just a little beautiful human being and you have done your best and you don't need to fight with the rest of the universe. To me, that's how I see it. That you just play your part of the role in the universe. Don't fight for too much. The nature, the universe is so beautiful and so big, and we are nothing. And you know, you are a little model of Earth itself. It's very hard to believe. I can tell you the amount of species living on Earth, that's how many amount of species living inside and all around you, on your skin, around your hair, inside your body. And in Vedic text, we say, Tat At Pinde Tat Brahmande. So where this body is, the whole universe is in it. We got the whole solar system, we got everything that exists out into the universe. We are a little model of the universe. So just reminding yourself, you are such a little thing. And you know, I like to think sometimes, just zoom out and go up there, sitting on the moon, and you're trying to look at yourself. Where do I exist on this beautiful earth? Or think other way around. Think you are actually, if you are also standing on the moon, where are you? And to me, that concept is Ishwar Pranidhana, that I do what I do and I leave rest to the divine, to the nature, to the cosmos, to whatever energy, consciousness you believe in it. And to me also, this has the beautiful meaning of everything you do, you offer your actions, your thoughts, your deeds to the divine cause, divine purpose. And honestly, I can tell you, people who work with that kind of divine vision, their life is abundance. Because if you caught into the material benefits of your work, the first problem, the material is so temporary, it does not last. Now, I don't know where you guys live, what happens, like back in UK when I used to live there, the money will come into the account, people pay for courses and stuff, and before 10th of every month, it's all gone, paying the bills. Now, rest of the month, you just like, what do I work for? And I've known many people, they're so happy the day they get paid, and then after 2 days, if you meet with them, they're just dragging along, waiting for the next money to come in. Now, the material perspective of our work, our karma, things we do, it just brings that fear. If it's too much, then it brings the clingingness, the holding, which also is not healthy. It brings ego. It brings uncertainty. But if you change your perspective that I work because through my work I can help somebody, I can make somebody's life is easy. And honestly, everything we do in life, there is a humanitarian purpose to it. We've got Jimmy here, software engineer. There is so much, you can look into your work that how much it helps people who are using those softwares or the work you do. So when you have that, and even once in a while when you get an email or you get a nice feedback or review somewhere on the work you're working with your team, well, that abundance will be with you for the rest of your life. The money comes in and goes out. If you work as a chef, you're cooking food for people, you're providing service, the money comes in and goes out. But if you pay your attention to the bigger picture of your things, your actions, your work, that abundance is going to be with you. And no one can ever take that joy. That is Sat Chit Ananda, pure bliss, pure joy. To me, when you all said, and same when Natalie cooks, I'm giving her these lessons. When somebody says, God, the food was amazing. Well, no one can ever take that away. Maybe the money you guys paid for your food to stay here, that I can tell you that's already gone. Half of it's already gone in paying the bills. But no one can steal that joy that when I see you all being flexible, strong, and starting to smile and be happy and enjoy, and hopefully at some point go back and teach. And that is the concept of Iswar Pranidhana, that what we do, we're doing it for the divine, the bigger purpose. And the fruit is just the side effect of it. And please remember, as in Sankhya, in yoga, and Krishna says, whatever you do, you always going to get the fruit. So don't worry about it. Pay attention to it, take your rights, take your fruit. Don't also let it go, let it get rotten down. To me, I totally believe in that. What is yours, you should take it, because that's also otherwise stealing. Don't let other people steal what belongs to you. That's also important. But your focus, your main concern in whatever you do should not be the material fruit of it. It should be humanitarian. It should be something divine in it. So that's what the yogis come up first. So to me, when you think of the yamas and niyamas, it's such a simplest of the virtuous practices on go out and live your life. Go out and do whatever you like to do. Just make sure that you tick those 10 boxes. Oh, your life is true abundance, isn't it? And sometimes I wonder, what else do we need to learn? Obviously, we need to learn more, because if it was so simple to practice yamas and niyamas, well, Nyandev would have been enlightened 40 years ago. Okay? So I'm talking about things that are very complicated to practice. We do live in a real world where the chitvartis and all those aspects that we gracefully going to discuss are there. And it's not as easy as we think. But if you keep working on it, keep practicing them, keep trying your best, you will evolve into a better person, a better human being. So to me here, I would say with yamas and niyamas, hopefully we all can become a good human being. And according to Amaji's perspective, our guru, for her, that is enlightenment. If you can become a good human being on this beautiful planet. That's it. That's attaining your pure potential. And then he moves forward, obviously, to move upward and higher into our higher energies in yoga. And we have the next two aspects of asana and pranayama. Now in asana, we're using body as a tool, as an instrument to again tap into the cosmic energies and obviously build our health, well-being, flexibility, strength, endurance, whatever benefits you want to go into it. But mainly really tuning into our cosmic or the divine energies and recollecting yourself in one place. Otherwise, all the energies, everything is just dispersed all over the place. Honestly, people don't even know what they're doing. It was kind of quite interesting, earlier we were just ordering while we were waiting for you. Obviously, we decided to go in a cafe instead of waiting on the bus stop. And there's somebody just ordering a coffee, and it's just like kind of quite nice to see somebody's doing jatis. It's just like, honestly, it's almost like kids do it, and I've seen many boys do it too, and I'm sure the girls do it too. It's almost like, I'm so desperate for that loo. And I was just telling Natalie, like, I think you need to go and tell her, like, look, if you need, there's a toilet behind there. And then she stopped. Hope she didn't hear me. I wasn't really that loud, was I? But that's the total dispersion of energy in almost nothing, where we can be still. We can be so calm in ourselves. So to me, this concept of asana is actually preserving the energy and mastering your body, mastering your limbs, your muscles and everything, that you only do with your body what is necessary to be done. People just keep wiggling their fingers and scratching here and scratching there and bouncing their feet up and down. And so to me, that's the beauty of the asana. In more philosophical way, to me, asana is a state of being. It's how you hold yourself, how you represent yourself, how you express yourself. If somebody say you have 1 minute and tell me all about you, what that 1 minute talk will be, what would you like you to be known with? And that is your asana, your throne that you hold deep down in your heart. So make sure for that 1 minute, you have something very beautiful and very profound. Instead of thinking, oh, I think my back is not very healthy. Oh, I got some blood pressure problems. Oh, I got terrible addiction to the food or drinks or drugs. Please don't hold that sort of things. That is your first state of being. In Vedic time, and even now, for me, something I experienced with my grandparents. So my grandmother not feeling very well, and she kind of knew it because she had a bit of stroke and paralysis, and she refused to take any medication. She said, the last thing I want to do is go to hospital. Let me die. And we accepted it. Obviously, that was her wish. And she kind of knew she got like 3 or 4 days left. But every time anyone came to see her, like, how are you? Honestly, sometimes she would be able to say a few words, other times no, you will have a bit of glimpse of smile. And I love that spirit. Because she was talking about the spirit. So in my spirit, she said, I'm okay. So I met many, many people, meeting them in the hospital where I went to see them. They are so sick with something, or they just been through a serious operation or something, and still the first thing they will say, I'm good. And then they might wince for or complain for next hour what they're going through. And to me, that first sentence that should come out, that is your asana, that is the seed throne you hold on to. And it's worth to have something good about yourself. Please do. Even you have to make up something, make up at least 10 most beautiful, profound, loving, caring sentences on yourself. We also do that. At least 10, if you cannot do 11. If you can do 11, that's a blessing. That's an auspicious number. At least try to do 10. I'm kind of wondering, maybe you all can do the homework. Write 10 beautiful things about yourself with honesty and sincerity. And see what comes up. And then we all can talk to each other and say, this is what I've written. Let's do it tomorrow, guys. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's do it tomorrow, yeah? No?
Okay.
Do it free from ego. I'm not talking about the ego side, okay? Just talk from the love. Talk from all the beautiful things that we all have. And you don't have to say it. If some of you don't want to, that's fine too. It just come in my head and I'm just saying it. And I will do it too. See if I can find 10 good things. That's the problem. I kind of know my first one with the coffee and cake. I love coffee and cake. So if you guys want to pass the exam and the test and the teacher training course before you even start, just coffee and cake and half done. So that's asana, how you hold yourself. Then we move to pranayama. So now, these yogis actually going deeper and deeper. So the first one, how to live, the yamas and niyamas, then how to hold yourself. Now, once you learn how to hold yourself, then it's how to refine the subtlest of the energies. Because that's where we become victim, because things are so deep in us, until we really burn them out, they're going to keep coming up. So the yogis thought, well, let's light some fire, let's do something to burn these things out. The cleansing processes of pranayama. Here we're using the breath as a tool to refine our mind, our nadis, our energies, our chakras, and to tap into the higher or the cosmic energy. And I'm definitely proud of the lineage of Kitananda Yoga that I follow. We are very rich in pranayama. I can tell you, I don't think you'll find the pranayamas you learn or practice with us anywhere else. So things we don't do is the 9 classical pranayamas, 8 classical pranayamas that are in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, or most people practice. We do them, but for us, we do them for like around second, third year of the sadhana. So at some point, if you do come back for 500 hours or advanced practices, we will go through them. For now, the practices of pranayama we do are, in some ways, they are much more intense and advanced than what is in those 8 classical pranayamas or 9 classical pranayamas people learn or practice. So there we are, the pranayama practice. The prana is the subtlest, the cosmic, the vital energy. And then ayama is the enhancing or extending that. To improve the resonance, improve the power, improve the energy. So you have much more stronger, intense energy that flows through you. So once you refine yourself, then you need to learn to step back. And that is pratyahara. Removing your mind field away from all the sensory information. Honestly, to me, think of simply you walking around in a big shopping complex, and the pratyahara is only buying what you must buy. And I don't think I can explain it simpler than that. You only buy what you must or what you desperately need to buy. Everything else is there, doesn't matter. It doesn't bother you. You're not paying any attention, any buying and selling into it. Otherwise, what happens first? Whenever we see the sale sign, now especially this is a really great time where everything is on the sale. Even if you don't need them, because it's on the sale, I must take it. And that's what we do all the time. Whatever sensory information comes in our head through our senses, we feed ourselves in them. Even though we know they are so unnecessary and something we don't need to take, something has nothing to do with us. So moving your mind away from the sensory information. And once you move your mind away, well, your mind is monkey. Your mind cannot be left alone. Okay. So what you have to learn next is focus your mind on one thing. Dharana, single pointed focus. So you try to focus your mind on something positive, something constructive, something spiritual, something useful. And if you keep doing that, at some point, hopefully that will come to the fruit, that will manifest, that will happen successfully. When that happens, your mind is absorbed in the single pointed focus, the concentration. It becomes your dhyana, your meditation. Now, here, these two steps of dhyana, the meditation, and then the last step where you totally dissolved, you absorbed into something, the samadhi. These two are not actually something we practice. These two are the states we experience. Now, in your simpler life, just to again remind you all, to make you feel so happy about it, you all experience these beautiful states of meditation and samadhi every day. But our fantasy around meditation and samadhi has grown so big that we don't even know when do we experience it. To me, for Jamie yesterday, that curry he was eating. Now, to me, if you can tell me the experience in the middle of it, that pure joy where nothing else need to be there, that's a deep state of meditation. If you were really looking forward to get to ashram, once you arrive and get to your place, you have that speechless moment of abundance. Or when you're trying to make something and you suddenly manage to pull it together, that pure experience. Can you think, how do you feel at that moment? Or do you need to think? Or you are looking out to see a bird and then suddenly you just see that bird just flying all around in the sky. What is the experience? When you walk down to the river and when the river is just looking so abundant, can you tell me what is that experience? You can't explain that experience in words. But because we have fantasized this experience of meditation and samadhi to such an extent, which obviously has its own beauty, that we forget that we experience it in so many little things. To me, I experience meditation every time when I'm trying to sing a bhajan or talk something, and when you guys just give me the most beautiful smile. Honestly, I just go like, I got nothing to think. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to talk. It's just a pure pranic exchange. Or that pure consciousness that flows through you guys when you're like walking around saying, oh, I think I should do this. When you have that love about something, it's the pure intention, that the joy, because without that pure joy, you would not be able to do things. And if you're doing them, you are going to struggle with them. So actually this concept, the experience of meditation and samadhi, guys, you all experience it every day. But we just need to simplify that experience. While we think in meditation, I'm going to experience the blast of the light and the kundalini, the snake rising from my spine, and then you're fighting for the snake to rise, and it's just not there. Well, I'm afraid to tell you, there is no snake there. It's just a symbolical experience. People use that as a symbol. Well, there are so many sayings we say, they don't actually mean literally, do they? You know, when you're enjoying something, we say, I'm in my elements. Well, literally, it doesn't mean anything, does it? But when you think philosophically, with the joy, with the abundance, yes, you are in your element. So many ways they use the symbols to explain us what meditation experience is like. But there was more of trying to give us some kind of foundation. So the yogis actually come up with these 8 steps of our evolutionary journey. And then rest of the whole yogic philosophy, the practices are around it. In that way, we have many paths of yoga, many practices of yoga. And even philosophically, yoga had many overlapping layers of philosophical concepts. And each idea of yoga itself is complete. And each idea needs support of the other ideas too. Oh, it's so think, you can live your whole journey, your whole life on your own. You are a complete being. You actually don't need anybody. If you see that abundance, you become all one. But if you live with everybody else in abundance, then that makes your life slightly more easier, nicer, happier, and also because of the problems we face with each other, it speeds up your evolutionary journey. Because until you face them, the peace seems to be so easy. For me, when I used to be monk and hiding into the mountains in the caves, meditating in my joy and bliss, and life is so amazing. There is no problem, nothing to think about. Experiencing that state was easy because there was no one there to annoy me, no one there to disturb me. There was no sensory information, there was no sensory distraction for me. But when I come out in society, yes, it becomes slightly hard, but then in that way, you start to apply your experience, your practices. So here you can call yoga as a path, you can call yoga as a practice, you can call yoga as an application, and you can also call yoga as the end goal. Because yoga is a path that we follow. It's a straight path. But some people like Swamiji said, the path of yoga is walking on the razor's edge, and you are up somewhere halfway between the earth and the moon. And you know that you cannot fall to either side. Because if you do, there is nothing. And to me, when you think of the true evolution, the true joy, true happiness, true health in life, well, we don't really have fall out of that goodness, do we? To me, we can't choose half in, half out. You can't say like, oh, yeah, the Friday night for me to getting drunk and taking all the drugs is fine. 6 days I'm going to be pure. It's not good enough, is it? To me, if you want to be living that abundant, that healthy, that pure life, it has to be 7 days for whole year and for your whole life. We can't pick and choose. So this is why the yogis call it, it's a straight path, and you are on that edge of the edge of the razor. It's a perfectly beautiful balance. You are so balanced in yourself. As long as you keep walking it. Then what yoga does, because you're walking on the straight path, it gives you all the tools you need. It gives you tools to understand your mind. And then tomorrow I'm going to expand that a little further to take us to the next step. And then hopefully we'll start to working through the 8 limbs and these practices. So in that way, hopefully tomorrow I'm going to talk about different chittavrittis and, the problems that we all go through and how Patanjali explains them. It's so amazing. Some of us think like, oh, in a couple of 100 years back, life was so easy. I can tell you guys, that's such a rubbish to think about. Now, if Patanjali, if he existed a couple of 1,000 years ago and he talks about all those problems, he talks about all the obstacles. And when you look at the list of the chittavrittis, the whirlpools of the mind, the types of them, the classification of them, and the outcome of them, I can tell you would not have anything else to add into it. It's a pure science and psychology of our mind. And tomorrow evening, yeah, that's why I'm going to take you all through. And I don't like talking about problems too much, but I think for me, this diagnosis is quite a nice concept to actually look into and understand, and you will see that how good you are deep inside you. Because according to Patanjali, we all go through all of the Chitvarti, the whirlpools of the mind. The only thing happens with us, we become the one we associate ourselves with. So it's not that our mind is always pure and clean, our mind is always focused, our mind is always still. No. We all go through that state of disturbed mind, distracted mind, dull mind, indulged mind. Then we have the focused mind. Then we have the still mind. Where the skill in our life is learning or mastering yourself to choose which mind you want to hold on to. And whichever you hold on to, rest of your universe manifests around that. And to me, this is honestly a pure experience I go through many, many times in my life. If I'm holding to the negative state of my mind, I do find myself surrounded by everyone who is the mirror of my mind. When I'm really in the abundance, joy, happy in myself, I tend to find myself surrounded by happy people, loving people, good people. So I believe that we only see what we need to see in the universe. So if you can change that perspective and hold on to the abundance, the higher the cosmic mind, the cosmic blissful mind, your universe, you will see you live in that place, you live in that abundance. So we'll talk about them tomorrow. I guess I will stop here for now. If any one of you have any questions or anything you want to ask, add, talk, you can. Otherwise, I will let you go and have a good rest. Or if there is any question from the other side of the Zoom room, the new Gurukula we got now.
No questions. Thank you for letting us join.
Oh, always pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Let's chant our peace mantra together. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.